All right, all right, all right, y'all. I'm gonna warn you. I'm very fired up right now, and it's follow up Friday, and I got a lot on my mind. I got a lot to share with you, so I would highly recommend you plug into this broadcast because I think it's going to help you, especially those of you that want to go from average to savage. You want to go from part time to full time in your network marketing business, but I also want to warn you. I'm going to be very direct, maybe a little feisty today because some of what I see goings on in the marketplace today, it just needs to be addressed. It needs to be said. Some of the things I'm going to say because I've been in this profession now for 18 years. We actually just came off of our best first quarter we have ever had in 18 years. And I know what it takes to be successful. And I also know what it looks like to struggle. How many of us can appreciate that, right? I've been on the struggle bus. How many of you feel like you're riding the struggle bus right now? And you need some help, you need some guidance. I'm going to help you today, give you some clarity, give you some of the strategies, but also some of the choices that we made back in 2008. You know, we were in a tough spot. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But before I get into it, before I get into 2008 and kind of how we went from average to savage, how we went from part time to full time, the choices that we made, I also want to tell you a couple things. Number one, throughout this broadcast, those of you that are tagging people, those of you that are sharing the broadcast, those of you that are loving and engaging, Nadia is going to be watching, and she's going to randomly pick some of you to win our beautiful 90-day tracker. This is going to help you go on a 90-day run. I mean, this thing is just gorgeous. Like no joke. This thing is money in the bank. Daily activities, monthly accountability, how to follow up without being annoying, closing questions, the secret to preventing objections from even happening, what to do every day to make money in your business. I mean, this thing is just ridiculous. It's got a follow-up book. It's going to help you crush it over the next 90 days. I'm also going to give $50 to someone at the very end. So I'm going to reward those of you that stay on to the very end. So there's that. And what's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitter/Periscope? What's up, Facebook? We are broadcasting all over the interwebs right now. Very important conversation today. And, we've got a lot going on in the world, right? There's a lot to be, concerned about. And there's also a lot to be grateful for. So I think ultimately it's a matter of perspective. And, how many of us have ever been in a negative situation? We were dealing with something, a circumstance, a situation that wasn't so great. It wasn't so positive. It was tough. How many of us have been in that situation? Maybe you could share that in the comments. Also, share with me where you're coming in from. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay in the comments and what time you're watching it. And if you're live, I want to know where you're at. And for those of you that don't know me, my name's John Melton. Been in network marketing 18 years. Got started because I was broke, busted, and disgusted. And I loved the concept of residual income. I loved the concept of leveraged income. And I really wanted to do something different. I was excited by some of the success stories that I had seen. How many of you joined network marketing because you heard a story, someone you could relate to, someone that you thought, hey, they remind me of myself. They remind me of my situation, my circumstances, and I want to be where they are. I know for me, I had met some young people that were having success back when I was younger. I still want to believe I am young, but I related to them and I saw their success. And I got excited about the potential, just the potential. I didn't know if I was going to be successful. I didn't know how long it would take, but I knew I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing, right? All my friends and family, they were, go to school, get a degree, get a job. And I was like, I don't want to go to school. I don't like having a regular job. Like that used to depress me. I thought I was like a loser. So network marketing literally saved my life. But there was a lot of ups and downs. How many of us, again, have rode that struggle bus? Drop the bus emoji in the comments if you have. We rode that struggle bus up and down. My son's out there on the trampoline. 2008 was a tough year, and actually the end of 2007 into 2008, it was New Year's Eve day. And one of my really good friends, him and I, we used to party hard and we would drink, do drugs, like stupid stuff. I don't want my kids to hear. But we would make really bad decisions, like really, really bad. Like if I told you some of the stuff we did, you would be literally in shock. tons of fist fights, tons of partying, just stupid stuff. Because honestly, I heard Grant Cardone say this one time. He's like, the reason I did drugs is because I was bored. So when he found ways to make money and he got into sales and business, he found something to put his energy into versus he was just bored and getting in trouble. And that was something that I heard, and I was like, man, I can relate to that. That was totally me. But Jeremy kind of went down a dark path and got hooked on drugs, like hard drugs. I didn't. I found network marketing. I met the beautiful Russian hammer, Nadia Melton. Thank God. God bless me, right? And essentially we were going in two different directions, two different paths. And New Year's Eve day, he relapsed. And that was 2007, the last day of 2007. And he committed suicide. And he just couldn't kick the habit, took his life. And I remember I decided I wanted to turn a negative thing into a positive thing. I did the same thing when my dad died of a heart attack. I was 23 years old. My dad died of a heart attack in the middle of the night. And he was always coughing. He was always unhealthy. He smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day. He would literally take the butt of a cigarette and light up the next cigarette with it. Smoked in the house, smoked in the truck. We were always in the truck. I mean, it's kind of like disgusting when I look back and think about like, dude, what in the world? Secondhand smoke was like a normal thing to just smoke around your family, your kids. Anyway, in airplanes, shopping malls, everywhere, right? So he died of a heart attack. I decided to quit smoking because I was also a smoker, right? You see your parents doing stuff and, you model them. And they didn't drink, which is funny because I did a lot of drinking, but they did smoke. I smoked. I quit smoking. Haven't smoked cigarettes since then. Maybe once in a while when I'm, like smoking a cigar or something. But for the most part, like obviously quit smoking, right? Years and years and years ago. So when Jeremy died, I decided I was gonna quit drinking, get serious about my business, and that's exactly what I did. Can't open up my phone here to show my notes. Anyway, long story short, I decided to quit drinking and get serious about my business, and that was a big decision that we made. And for us, Nadia and I, our relationship, I really feel like that saved our relationship as well. Because even though it wasn't like I drank every day, but when I did drink, like there was 1 out of 5 times, 1 out of 10 times I would black out. How many of us can relate to this? Like having a problem like that. So I made him taking his life, even though it was a horrible tragedy, I turned it into a positive because I wanted his life to mean something. I wanted his choice, even though it was a bad thing, I wanted it to matter and kind of create a legacy in some indirect way. Does that make sense? And I think that conversation is important right now because so many of us are maybe being affected by this, but how can you turn this circumstance into a positive? What can you be grateful for? What can you learn from this? How can you grow through this? What happens to us happens for us. And it's all a choice. It's a choice of how we look at it. I talked about this yesterday on the broadcast. For those of you that saw the interview with the incredible leaders that we interviewed, it was amazing, right? And they talked about, some tips and, using this time to really, spend more time with your kids or get decluttered, get organized, get your priorities straight. It gives you perspective on things and all that. And I talked about how, if I were to give you a pen, right, that pen could be a gift. I give you this gift. It's your choice. You could use that gift to draw a beautiful picture or poke someone's eye out, right? With that pen, you decide what you do with that gift. And I knew I had a gift of communication. I was driven. I just needed to redirect my energy, and I quit drinking. And it was also around the time the economy crashed, the market crashed. How many of us remember like Lehman Brothers went out of business and all these mortgage companies and banks were in all this dire trouble. And even though this is a scary time that we're in, because of everything that's happening, not just the virus itself, but, a lot of people are losing their jobs and a lot of people are dealing with, losing money in the market and they have a lot of uncertainty. But with that being said, through adversity, there's also opportunity. And I can tell you that the last time there was uncertainty like this was 2008. And guess what? That's when we went full-time in network marketing. So smash that heart button if you're ready to get after it, because now is a phenomenal time for you to double down on your goodness, for you to make some choices like I did back in 2008. It doesn't have to be quit drinking, but whatever it is, whatever that choice is, whatever you're turning that negative situation into a positive, how can you take this and run with it? And here's the other thing that we did. Let me get into more specifics. One thing that we started doing in 2008, and it was easier back then to do this than it has been over the years because the economy's been good and there's been so many ways to make money. This right now is reminding me of 2008, meaning there's a lot of people out there that have traditional businesses that maybe were high performers in their job. They were making a lot of money, and now they're having to pivot. They're opening their mind to other ways of making money because their restaurants are shut down, because their business, their job, their whatever they were doing 3 weeks ago, they're not doing today. So now they're open-minded. So what we started doing, this is just us, we started going after business owners. 2008 was the first year that we started implementing a system in place to go after business owners, to talk to the most successful people we knew. How many of you have a team, right? Your team is also your fishing poles. And here's what I mean by that. Until you're earning a full-time income, in my opinion, you are a fishing pole. That's how I look at it. I look at my team, the people within my organization. We have an incredible team, one of the top teams in all of network marketing, in the top 100 in all of network marketing. But with that being said, most of your business is going to be part-timers. Now, a lot of people are turning their plan B into a plan A, but most of your part-timers are still part-time income earners, right? Like, meaning even if they just lost their job and now they're trying to make this business a full-time business, they're still probably not going to immediately just start making a full-time income, right? They're making 500 a month, 200 a month. Maybe they're not even making profits yet. They're fishing poles. You're the fisherman, meaning if you're making a full-time income, you're the fisherman. So I looked at it like this. I'm going to start going after my A players. I'm going to start talking to business owners, people that are entrepreneurial, people that think outside the box. Think of it this way. If you were going to start a football team, would you want baseball players or football players? It's common sense. You'd want football players, people that played football on your football team. You could recruit baseball players, but you're probably going to get your butt kicked by playing football teams. Football teams with real football players. You're going to get crushed, right? Same vice versa. If I'm starting a baseball team, I want to go get baseball players, people that play baseball, not a bunch of big football players. They might be able to hit the ball a long way, but they're probably not going to hit the ball very often. And we do a lot of swinging and missing. I've seen some really big boys that can't hit a baseball, right? So anyway, I digress. The point is, if you're starting a business and you're looking for business partners, you're looking for people to promote the business, promote the products, doesn't it make sense to talk to people that have promoted businesses before, that have promoted products before, that have been in sales before, they've been entrepreneurial, they think outside the box, business owners know business owners. Also, now we didn't have this term back in 2008, but influencers. Start paying attention. I want you right now to start making a list of people you know that are entrepreneurial. Start making a list of people you know that are go-getters, that are driven, that have great reputations. They have great integrity. They know a lot of people. How about you start paying attention to people that have great social equity? They have social influence. They get great engagement on their social media. All right, there are 9 million people on Instagram that have over 10,000 followers. 9 million people that have over 10,000 followers, and 90% of them do not earn income on social media, believe it or not. You've got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, all these platforms, Twitter, people that have large audiences. They get great engagement. They don't monetize. Now, I'm not saying all of them will be open right now. I'm just saying right now, in our country's history, there are more people out of work. There are more people open-minded to opportunity than ever before, not just in our country's history. There's people watching this broadcast from all over the world. I saw some of you checking in. People from all over the world are watching this broadcast right now, and they're in the exact same situation. We've never had in our country's history, in the network marketing industry's history, more people open-minded to opportunity. Now is a great time to have conversations. Now is a great time to go after influencers. Didn't have that term in 2008. People that have influence, people that have a personal brand, right? You know what a personal brand is, as Gary Vee puts it? It's your reputation. It's people that have a great reputation, whether it's online or offline. But because we're so big about building online, I more so love people with social equity, social influencers, people that have a big following, because, the truth is, if I bring in a traditional business owner, but they have no social presence, no social media presence, no understanding of social media, they don't even have a Facebook account. I'm not saying they can't be successful, but back then it was easier to target business owners. And I can tell you, once we started bringing in business owners and we started telling our fishing poles, our teammates, to start bringing in business owners, put me on three-way calls with business owners, invite business owners to your home parties, your home meetings. Our business blew up. Literally, we went from average to savage. We went from, a part-time network marketing business to a full-time network marketing business. It's just a little different now. So instead of just going after business owners, really going after anyone that's using social media effectively, anyone that's built a following online. Now, of course, you want people that have integrity, they have good intentions. Remember, you got to work with these people. I just know for a fact when I see someone that says, my business isn't where I want it to be, or we're getting stuck, typically it's because the recruiting has kind of flatlined, and they're maybe just kind of maintaining, but they're not bringing in people like them. They're not bringing in people that are recruiting and bringing a lot of people to the table in a short period of time. You are literally one recruit away from your business doubling, tripling, quadrupling, 10xing. I have been seeing this for years and years and years and years. 18 years of doing this, but really paying attention to the A players, bringing in influencers back in 2008. So for about 12 years now, we've been having this conversation. I'm telling you, if you just start getting creative and thinking outside the box, like what if you brought in someone that had a big Facebook group? They bring in an influencer, someone on your team, or you personally bring in someone with 50,000 people in a Facebook group, right? Let's just say it's a keto diet Facebook group. And I think about that because we have people on our team that are running these keto Facebook groups. And literally they start promoting their products, right? There's a woman in our company, Amy Smith. She's got a group with 100,000 people. She runs a keto group, right? And this group could be anything, right? You could have people that are admins of any type of group. They have a business page or a large following on Instagram. Doesn't matter. But the point is, I just thought of this. She's got 100,000 people. She consistently sells over 100,000 personally every month. Her personal sales are over 100,000 a month. We had 3 people in our company last month that sold over 100,000 personally, right? Because they have a large following on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. So start thinking outside the box. Start building relationships with these people. They're an admin to a group. Connect with them. Friend them up. Get to know them. Don't immediately pitch them and sell them. Then you're just like every other Tom, Dick, and Harry out there, right? Like build a connection, a relationship. But man, if you just took time every single week to connect with those types of people and build those relationships, I'm telling you, your business will look a lot different in 6 months. However, I need you to understand that right now is a critical time for you to build your business, for you to work on yourself. But it's also a time, as much as I want you to be persistent and I want you to get after it, you also need to have some patience. What I also see in the market is there's a lot of people that are trying to force their business into a full-time income, and they're getting frustrated. How many of us, be honest, have kind of felt that way, where we get frustrated instead of fascinated? We get frustrated because we see other people growing faster than us, and we get comparatitis. We're like, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? I'm a loser. I'm a failure. It's not working. You got to be very careful. You're comparing your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 15, right? They've been doing this longer. They've been putting more time and effort into their brand. They've been putting more time and effort into their business than you. They have more credibility. Don't get frustrated. Get fascinated. Learn from those individuals. Pay attention. What are they doing? What are they posting? How are they showing up on social media? This is why we started building a personal brand, because we wanted to build multiple income streams. I see these people where they're hopping around chasing the shiny penny. Every 6 to 12 months, they're in a new thing, and they're losing credibility, right? Their audience is losing trust in them. And yeah, they might get lucky and make a bunch of money somewhere. But then as soon as it gets hard, as soon as it plateaus or declines, they're off to the next shiny penny. And the problem is they're going to do that for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Eventually, they're going to say network marketing doesn't work because they lack commitment. They're always looking for the hype and the exciting newness of a company. And no company just has momentum forever. At some point, you have to make a decision that enough is enough. I'm going to plant my flag and I'm all in on this opportunity. Does that make some sense? And by the way, again, I'm going to give $50 away to someone at the very end of this broadcast. Nadia, have you picked any winners of the 90-day tracker? People that are sharing, commenting, loving, tagging people? Okay, so Nadia is going to go through and pick some winners of the 90-day tracker. Those of you that are sharing, drop shared in the comments if you shared. Smash the heart button, tag some teammates. But you got to plant your flag. You got to realize everywhere you go, there you are. Everywhere you go, there you are. Joining new companies and bouncing around. Now, once in a while, you have to make these decisions, right, to make a move. I did make a move in 2013 because I was with the company for 7 years. They would not embrace building online. They would not embrace changing their model to make it more customer centric, to make it so the average person could win, to make it a home for everyone. Like if you weren't doing meetings every night and going to the conventions every 90 days, you were an outcast. They would disown you. It's like they wouldn't even want you to be a part of their business or even treat you as a priority because you weren't fully committed to working the business 24/7, 7 days a week. Like that's the same difference. 24/7, 7 days a week, right? Most people are going to be part-timers. Most people are not going to want to make $1 million or even a full-time income. Now, most of you might say, well, John, I do want to make a full-time income. Drop it to the comments and let me know your goals. I don't see anything. Okay. Anyway, you just made me lose my train of thought, baby.
Baby, let's do the giveaway, please.
Okay.
I don't want to try to pick myself.
You can't just respond to the comments?
No, I can't.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so who are we picking?
Right there, you can see it on the screen.
All right, I'm watching. Who wants to win is all I see.
Okay, Julia and Christopher.
Okay, Julia and Christopher, you are the winners of the 90-day trackers.
And I got one more. Here we go.
Oh, Julia and Christopher. I thought you said Ann. Okay, so she's one of the winners. She's sharing. Who else? And Meg McCarthy. Whoop, whoop. And if you guys already have a 90-day tracker, you can always give this to someone as a gift, right? Maybe you could even use this as an incentive for your team, right? You could do a contest, whatever that looks like. But congratulations, those of you that are sharing, tagging some teammates, sharing the broadcast. Hope you're getting value. Those of you smashing the heart button, I appreciate the love. I'm watching over here on the business page, but I know we're also broadcasting in 5 different places. So anyway, the point is most people are going to start off part-time. Most people are not going to have a high desire level. And that's totally cool, right? I mean, that's how I started out. I did not start off with wanting to make a lot of money in the business. I just wanted to make enough money to not have to wait tables, which was a couple $1,000s a month. Yeah, you feel me? I was excited about beach money. I was excited about mailbox money. I was excited because they said you could be temporarily motivated to be permanently lazy. They said you could be from Yale or jail. And I was like, I've been in jail before, so maybe I can do this thing. I could drop out of community college. Thank God, because I didn't like school, right? So that was me. But I didn't start out with these desire. Well, let's be honest. I wanted to buy my own island. I wanted a Ferrari. I wanted a dream, to live my dream home. But the truth is, even though I was like, yeah, that'd be super one day in the future, really, I just wanted to make a couple $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, just so I wouldn't have to wait tables, just so I could do network marketing full time and not have to go to college and get a real job, right? Which is, again, interesting because there's a whole lot of people out there right now that are realizing having a real job or one stream of income is actually riskier than having a business, than having a home business, than having another income stream. But again, you can't force it into a full-time income stream. It takes a really long time. They say the average millionaire has to start 11 different businesses before they finally crack 7 figures and become a millionaire. They say the average business takes 10 years before it's a 7-figure income for the business owner, right? If you follow success stories of very successful people, there's a backstory. It took them 5 years, 10 years to become successful. But I love what Mark Cuban says. You only got to get it right once. But the problem is too many of us are expecting to be rich and expecting to make all this money in 12 months. And we're totally underestimating what we can accomplish in 5 to 10 years. And this is why I'm a big believer of tracking your numbers, tracking your activity, treating it like a real business. Because one day you'll look back and you'll be like, wow, look how far I've come. But you won't know if you don't track your numbers. You're not going to know, where was I at 6 months ago? Where was I at a year ago? Where was I at 2 years ago? I don't even know because I don't track my numbers. Does that make sense? You've got to pay attention to this. Chelsea says, love that. Jenny says, I'm giving a 90-day tracker as fun giveaway for my team. Awesome. Robin wants to make $5,000 a month. And Robin, that is amazing. But I will tell you, I love that goal. But let's also be very clear. That is a lot of money. In network marketing, that's a lot of money. Even in a job, that's an above average income, but especially network marketing. Why? Because in a job, if you make $5,000 a month, you stop showing up, you don't get paid. In network marketing, you get the $5,000 a month. You stop working, you still get paid. That's amazing, right? So it's going to be harder to get the 5,000 a month, but when you do, you'll know you deserved it. You know you earned it. That's why I'm glad it took me so long to get to six figures, to get to seven figures, to get to six figures a month. I'm glad it took a while because I had so much more gratitude and appreciation when I got there. Now, meanwhile, you got to master the communication skills. You need to master prospecting. You need to master follow up and closing. A lot of that is inside this 90-day tracker. A lot of that we teach on our blog. A lot of that we teach on our business page, right? So make sure you subscribe when we go live. We'll drop a YouTube video. We drop our blog posts. We drop our videos over here on our business page. We're always teaching you how to go out and create the results so that you deserve success. We want to make it easier on you, but that doesn't mean it's easy. We want to simplify so you can multiply. We want to give you direction and guidance. That's what I'm giving you right now. I'm sharing with you exactly what it takes to be successful, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight. Nothing worth anything happens overnight. You want to get good at a sport? How long does it take? How long does it take to get good at a sport? Were you good when you first started playing basketball or football or baseball or field hockey when you were 4, 5, 6, 7 years old? No, you weren't any good. You might have been good compared to the other kids that just started like you. And that's part of the problem in our business, right? We're just getting started. We're a year or two into playing t-ball or coach pitch, and we're comparing ourselves to someone that's playing high school baseball. Yes, of course you can't hit it as far as them. They're a grown-ass man, right? Or woman, right? A full-blown adult playing, softball or football or volleyball, and you're brand new and you're getting frustrated because you're working your butt off. Like when someone tells me they're working their ass off, they're working their face off, they're doing all these things and they're not getting results. I'm like, and welcome to the club. We all work hard. I worked hard for a really, 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 really long time with a very inconsistent income, ups and downs, wanted to quit all the freaking time, but kept going anyway. And I think one of the advantages that I had is I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't want to do anything else. And I'm assuming those of you that have been watching me talk for the last 27 minutes, either you want my $50 or you agree with this conversation. The key to success is to keep showing up. Marry the process, divorce the result. And pay attention. Pay attention to the people in your life that are supporting you. Pay attention to the people on your team that are showing up every day. Pay attention to the people that are open-minded. Build those connections. Build those relationships. Pay attention to your customers that love your product. They're probably some of the best people to promote your business, to promote your product because they already love the products. Right? Start paying attention to the people that want you to win. Start paying attention to the people that you're surrounding yourself with. Start paying attention to the people you're listening to. All right? What books are you reading? Who do you follow on social media? Stop trying to force this into a full-time income, but at the same time, have the mindset that in order for you to be successful, you can't wish for the skills. You have to get better. Don't get bitter, get better. You have to develop these skills over time and realize that if you continue to show up, you continue to do the work, and you plant your flag, you say, you know what, if other people are winning in this company, whatever company you're in, whatever company you represent, then I can too. The only difference between them and me is they've just been doing it longer. They've gotten more rejection than me. They learned how to overcome rejection. They learned how to brand themselves. And, that goes back to the multiple income streams. The reason a lot of people I see hopping around, right? They're like an MLM bunny rabbit, right? They're hopping around all the time. They're trying to chase that lucky get in at the right place at the right time. Hopefully I get rich quick. But if I don't, I'll move on to something else because they don't have any other income streams because they didn't brand themselves. The people that I see these days that have the most likelihood of sticking through the tough times, it's when they don't need the money. It's a very dangerous place to need your network marketing income. And I know for some of us, you're thinking, well, John, hello, I lost my job. Like I need this to work. And I get it. But bringing need to the marketplace, desperation, commission breath to the marketplace doesn't typically work out really well. And look, you're probably thinking, well, John, this is like a mixed message because you're telling me how you went full time and what you did. Yes, I am. I want you to create a higher income stream. I want you to go from average to savage. I want you to see more success and double, triple, quadruple your business, 10x your business, as Grant Cardone says. I want all those things for you. Believe me, I do. But I also live in the real world. And I know some of you are saying, I want to make 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month in the next 90 days. And if you don't hit that goal, you get discouraged and quit and think that there's something wrong, when the truth is you haven't deserved it yet. You haven't been doing this long enough yet. It took me 7 years. Maybe you missed that part. But I want to reiterate, it took me 7 years. That's more fingers than I have on one hand. 7 years to get to a full-time income. And even then, it was still really hard. There were still times I wanted to quit. It was still stressful. I would have big leaders quit. I would have entire teams fall apart. I would get cut off. I was in a compensation plan back then where if someone hit your rank, they would cut you off from a significant amount of income. So you had to recreate that same level of production in other organizations. It was freaking brutal, man. I'll never forget, babe. You remember when Jeff, he promoted Craig to the same level as him? We had this rank called team coordinator. This was back when we started bringing in A players. So we brought in like this real estate appraiser, Jeff. Jeff brought in this construction guy who was also a former Primerica rep. So the guy had done network marketing. His name was Craig Maynor. Craig was man, he was such a shark. So was Jeff. And so Jeff brought in Craig. And remember, Craig brought in Holly, the school teacher. Like that whole leg was like blowing up. And I remember Craig hit team coordinator. And Jeff was like, yeah, congratulations, Craig. And he looks over at me and he's like, welcome to the jungle. Because he knew how hard it would be to create success at that level and the amount of work that we had to do to get paid. Oh, it was a brutal compensation plan. But anyway, my whole point is, you know, we started realizing that even when you make a lot of money, you just have more responsibility. New levels, new devils. New levels, new devils. You got to keep showing up. You got to keep doing the do. Rent is due every day, right? When you're trying to be successful, rent is due every day. I show up every day for my team. This ain't easy. It's worth it. I love it. I'm grateful for it, but it's not easy. I mean, all day long, my inbox blows up with messages. All day long, I'm being put into group chats. All day long, I've got people reaching out, asking me questions, right? And I'm personally recruiting too. I mean, I enrolled 6 people last month, right? I out-recruited my entire team last year. In fact, I'm pretty sure they didn't share the numbers. I mentioned this on a couple broadcasts. I'm pretty sure I was the number 1 recruiter in the entire company last year. I don't know of anyone that even got close to me. Maybe there was someone I'm unaware of, but my point is I'm still doing the do. I'm still out there leading by example. I'm still in the trenches. So I turned an awful situation, losing one of my best friends from high school. I turned his suicide into a positive outcome, and I wanted his life to mean something. I wanted to have this horrible thing indirectly create a legacy for me and my family, because I thought if nothing else, I would be able to talk about Jeremy the rest of my life by quitting drinking and making a decision to go all in with my business. Everybody wants to be balling, but in order to be balling, you got to be all in. People follow strength, not weakness. People have to believe that you have a vested interest in them. And this is why it's important to build a brand. This is why it's important to show up for your team every day, pour into your team, and remember, everywhere you go, there you are. And here's a couple more practical tips. Are you guys getting some value from this? Feel free to ask questions. Nadia, maybe I can do some Q&A and we'll give away some more stuff to people that are asking great questions throughout the broadcast.
Okay.
I know I'm talking a lot, but I'm really fired up and I just had my coffee. So it's so funny to see the different comments and engagement on different on the page versus my personal profile. Love it. Rent is due every day. That's right, Amy. Not just on the first, Victoria. That's it. And you guys know, those of you that have been following me for a while, I show up every day. Nadia and I are putting out content every day. And there's times where, let's be honest, there's times we're human. There's times where maybe we don't feel like showing up. There's times where maybe we're tired. There's times where, maybe we're feeling stress or anxiety. We're human too. But wouldn't I still show up for work? Dude, you know how many times I would show up hungover, waiting tables? You know how many times I would get up for school when I was exhausted? I was up too late playing video games when I was younger. You know how many times I showed up in the mortgage industry and did the work I had to do because that was my full-time job and that was my responsibility, even when I didn't feel like it, even when I had sniffles. I mean, I had to show up. How many of you still showed up for work, even when you didn't feel like it, even when you were sick, even when you were stressed out, even when you were having relationship issues? Did you not?
Maybe Daniel on YouTube has a question.
Okay. What's up, Daniel?
How would you prospect on Instagram? How would you prospect an Instagram influencer without a relationship with them?
First thing I would do is provide value. I would connect with them. I would compliment them. I would share some of their content, get their attention. You want to get my attention. You want to get an influencer's attention. Engage with them. Comment on their stuff. Love on their stuff. Share their stuff. Not like a stalker. Not every day, but showing up in their inbox, responding to their Instagram story, responding to their Facebook story, engaging and commenting on their YouTube videos, right? Retweeting their content. I mean, look, think about this. Anybody on social media that's showing up and creating content, it's hard work. It's hard work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It takes effort. What do you think we want? We want people to share our stuff. We want people to engage on our stuff. Doesn't that make sense? Don't you want that? That's what an influencer wants. Now, you got to be careful. And I shouldn't say careful. That might not be the right choice of words, but don't spend a lot of time like interacting with Gary Vaynerchuk. Don't expect The Rock to pay attention to you, right? You want to use common sense. Like look for people that have, a larger than normal audience. But if they have like hundreds of thousands of followers, millions of followers, I'm not saying you can't get their attention, but there's probably a lot of people that are reaching out to them and getting them to promote products and getting them to take a look at businesses that you might just be a dime a dozen. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, but I would mix it up, right? I would try to interact and engage with people with 10,000 followers, 5,000 followers, 100,000. 500,000 is fine also, but if all you're doing is reaching out to people with hundreds of thousands and millions of followers, they have insane engagement, they're probably not going to pay attention to you as much as someone that has less engagement, less of a following. But I would spend time on this every week. I'd reach out and connect with people like that every week. And in the beginning, you kind of have to feel it out a little bit because some of these people are probably not going to respond. Some of these people are not going to be great at engaging, but some of them will be. And you got to ask them, like, how do you monetize? What is your business all about? Do you have a back-end business? Are you a part of a network marketing opportunity? If they're like, oh, I hate those network marketing pyramid things. I would never touch those things with a 10-foot pole. That's probably not someone to waste too much time with, right? But just asking questions, engaging, sharing, interacting, getting their attention. It just makes sense. Absolutely. Absolutely, Jackie. Yeah, I mean, look, a lot more influencers are putting out a lot more content. All of them are stuck at home right now. They're not doing the speaking engagements and the masterminds and traveling as much as they normally would.
Darcy says, how many times a week should you do a live at In Value?
Well, I would recommend all of you do a weekly show. I think that's a really good idea. You can do it whenever you want. You can do it on Saturdays, Sunday nights, Monday afternoons. That's what we do. Monday, every single Monday at 12 o'clock, 12 p.m. Eastern. We do Money Monday every single week over on our business page. That's our weekly show. Outside of that, I go live almost every day during the week just because that's what I love to do to communicate. That's how I generate leads. That's how we built social equity. That's how we built our personal brand. It's your choice. If you love communicating via video, you should do it as often as possible, every day if you can, especially right now, right? Doubling down on your goodness, on your content, on your efforts. However, if that's too much for you, every other day, once a week, it's really your personal choice, how often you want to do it. I saw another question by TJ. Why keep trying if we've boomed for 4 years? I don't know what boomed means. You probably meant bombed. If you bombed for 4 years, it took me 7 years to crack 6 figures. 7 years to create a full-time income, TJ. Good thing I didn't stop after 4, right? I kept going. And like I said earlier, you only have to get it right once. You only have to get it right once. There's very few people that create multiple businesses that become multi 6 and 7-figure businesses, right? Most people, and like I said, the average millionaire, they have to start and stop 11 different businesses. That's the average millionaire. Now, are there millionaires? They started one business like Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know. Facebook might have been his first business and he became a billionaire. So sure, sometimes you get it right the first time, but I think there's way more success stories of people that had to pour, time, effort, and energy into their business over a sustained period of 3, 5, 10, 15 years before they finally got it right, before they finally cracked the code. TJ says, I've been going live every day for a year. Awesome. Now start mixing it up. Do interviews if you haven't done interviews. Try using third-party tools. Like we're using StreamYard right now. We're projecting in 5 different places right now. Start showing up with different types of content. Maybe up level your content. You know, a lot of people are going live every day. They don't have a ring light. Might be time to get yourself a ring light. I mean, look at this. This is so much better, right? Find ways to level up your content, to level up and do things more creatively. If you just keep showing up the same way, saying the same things, and you're not getting creative, you're not enhancing what you do, then you may not get better results. Now, maybe some people can just keep showing up and doing the same thing over and over again because it's working. It's like I told people about TikTok. TikTok is the hottest social platform for anyone to be on right now. Now, do you have to be on there? No, of course not. If you're crushing it on IG or you're crushing it on LinkedIn, or you're crushing it on the tube, on YouTube, keep doing what you're doing. But if you're feeling stagnant, stuck, bored, you just feel like you're not getting anywhere, start putting out content every day on TikTok. All you got to do is follow people for a couple of days and you'll get the gist. You know, you find videos that you like, you find content that you relate to, and you just recreate it, right? You have fun with it. Do you and Nadia have an onboarding system once you bring someone onto your team? Absolutely, Chris. This is paramount. And I mentioned this in the beginning. We created a system for duplication in 2008 for offline building. And then over the last 7 years, we fine-tuned a system. I mean, that's our ATM Business Academy. We had the boot camp this weekend. That was what it was all about, our system to help people launch their business, master the ATM system. We have scripts, daily trackers, what to do every day. We give them a DMO and, you know, how to approach people, how to follow up with people, how to create curiosity, how to do group chats. Absolutely. System stands for save yourself time, energy, and money, baby. It is paramount. How do you motivate your team so that they can level up besides trainings and motivation? Sulette, you lead by example. You got to out ATM them, outsell them, out recruit them, put out more content than them. Don't just tell them what to do. You go out and lead by example. Be the captain of the team. See, I hated Derek Jeter because he was the captain of the Yankees. And, oh, he was so good, so talented. They always beat us. His last major league game, his last professional game, he hit a walk-off base hit to beat the Orioles. That was his last game he ever played. He had a walk-off against the Orioles. Like, really? Come on, dude. Right? So that was his last professional game. Of course, he beats the Orioles, right? He was the captain. He was out there before anybody else. He stayed late. You know, he would practice more. He would work on himself. You know, he worked out in the off season more than anyone else. You know, if there was a ball that was hitting a foul territory, the dude would dive into the stands, break his nose, bust open his eye, black eye for 3 weeks, but he caught the ball. Even if he didn't catch the ball, he went after it. He was all in. He led by example. That's the key to success. That's the best way to motivate your team. Go build a new team. All right, Nadia, should we wrap this up? Should I give away $50?
Yeah.
All right. So for those of you that were sharing, those of you that were tagging people, drop the word share in the comments, tag people. I'm going to randomly pick someone. You could also share your biggest takeaway, right? Continue to comment, continue to share. I'm going to do a countdown here shortly and pick someone to get $50 to. Do you have a product focused page example a new network marketer could follow to actually see implementation in action? Yeah, Kristen, actually inside of our ATM Business Academy, we talk about having an ATM group for product, an ATM group for recruitment, just to educate people on your products and educate people on your business. So 100%, that is paramount, in my opinion, for online duplication. The ATM system, the ad tag message system, has hands down been the best system we have ever seen for duplication of exposure. It's not the end all be all. It's not the everything, but it's the best duplication system for exposing people to your products and opportunity. Thank you, John and Nadia, for all of your help and training. Ashley, you're welcome. Loving the feedback. Thank you. You're welcome, Sulette. I'm going to finish my social marketing live boot camp that you, Nadia, and Tanya poured into me. Such an amazing event. Awesome, Sherry. I've been listening, taking great notes and screenshots. I will conquer my insecurity and do what you have taught me. I've made my last excuse. God is faithful, and just to perfect all that concerns me, love. I love it, Sherry. And you know, we are going to be releasing the boot camp replays at a discounted price point. You can pre-order them right now at socialmarketinglive.com. 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 You can pre-order the replays. They should be ready here in the next week or two, I believe. Hopefully next week. Bernice said shared in our business community. Holly said stop comparing yourself. Robin Williams said shared in our group. Your content fires me up and I'm implementing so many of your ideas to my business. So much value, says Jenny. You got this, Sherry. Biggest takeaway, keep going. No matter the result, it takes time to at their level. That's right. How do I pronounce your name? Stevana? That's a fun name, Stevana. Okay, let me randomly pick someone. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First person I point to. All right, Heather Hall Strainen, day 39 of the 90-day tracker. She was the first person I pointed to. She gets $50. So Heather, here's what you're going to do. You're going to email support@mylifestyleacademy.com with your PayPal, and we'll shoot you over $50. Cool? Heather Hall Strahan. Send an email to support@mylifestyleacademy.com. Include your PayPal. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's follow-up Friday. This is a great time to follow up with people. A lot of people get paid on Fridays. People are in a good mood on Fridays. Great time to follow up and get after it. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you got value from today's conversation. And we'll see you for our next episode of Money Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern on Monday. Monday. Peace out. If you want more training just like this, make sure you subscribe. You can also go to our website, mylifestyleacademy.com. Baby, maybe you can put that up on the screen and I'll do a screenshot. No? She's in one of those hardcore moods. She goes, it's okay. mylifestyleacademy.com. I appreciate you guys. I'm out of here. Peace.